Hare Krishna, welcome to another part of the reading of Identity Quest. So, right now we are still reading An Interesting Family. We are reading the second part of it because when I read it, I was quite tired. So, I am a legitimate, well, I am a practicing devotee and I live in a temple, meaning my days are, they're not so empty. I wake up at 3 in the morning, and my service to God start there, and it ends. Actually, doesn't really end because even sleeping's a service to Him. Yeah, Krishna's service. Nothing can stop it. All right, all right. So the previous chapter, it finished with with Krishna Kripa receiving, obviously, a call for help for a very dear Napaya. So yeah, if you've played the game, you know where this is going. Except that when you play this game, Nanashi has like zero reaction. It's like, I mean, if you look at this Shin Megami Tensei game, the main protagonist doesn't really have that much put into it. I mean, the only one who's kind of, feel relevant is Makoto Yuki or, you know, Minato Arisato, because he signs it, and for him not to say much, you know, when you're a kid and you've been through traumatic experience and you've been through um, Japanese children, foster care, you're bound to end up terrible, because um, first of all, right now, Japanese view on mental illness is a bit better, but it's still viewed that if you have a mental problem, better you just kill yourself, which is terrible, by the way. So just imagine, foster care in Japan received this child who's traumatized, lost his mom and dad. He doesn't speak, and because of that, he developed PTSD, which is a mental illness. So he doesn't act normally. He needs lots of care and attention, and he's thrown in the face of people who, yeah, they want to foster children, but he's been bumped from family to family, and he's not respected, he's not loved, he's not cared for, and until he goes to high school. And I mean, by then, I mean, forget having death in your hip, in your brain. You just went through 10 years of terrible foster parents, and you're expecting him to talk and be all bubbly? No. The result is Makoto Yuki. I guess I'm calling him Makoto Yuki because my sister's nickname used to be Yuki. So shout out to you, Yuki, if you ever are in this part of the internet. Hello. Okay. So now Rana asks, "Hey kids, hey, wait up, kids, where's the fire?" Oh, Radha's tail flopped down. It's it's all gone. Krishna Kripa whispered in pure horror. What once was a thriving magical forest filled with glowing cherry trees and frolicking fairies had been rendered a pile of ashes. The blue fire had consumed it all. Gone were the pink blossoms, and the son of Mukhara could already perceive some little bodies scorched beyond recognition. Even the tree under which Krishna had fed his chas was but a burnt husk. It's it's all my fault. Beta? Beta! Okay, that's Mukhara speaking right now. When Mukhara calls Krishna Kripa Beta, that's actually in Bengali. It means baby, and it's an affectionate term. Um, Beti for a girl, Beta for a young boy. But we're all called Beta by the older people. I'm like 30 and like, hey Beta, hey Beta. It's no, it's Krishna consciousness is a family. We're a group of people, and we're international. So you get things like that. It's nice. Beta, Beta, it's all right. Everything will be fine. His mother tried to calm him down. Fine, fine, Kanzanami, ah, Kanzami Krishna Kripa, Mukara snapped, holding her son by his upper arms. Calm down. None of this is real. With words heavy with power, he did indeed calm down, and her touch kept him grounded. It's all right, Bitta. Everything is fine. You did not cause this, Mukara continued, gently rubbing her doll-like thumb on Kripa's shoulder. Remember, this is a hermitage. Nothing you see here is real. It's all just a stage, just a play. Kripa gritted his teeth. I know, baby, I know. I hate it too. I hate it too when they do that. His mother gave a wry smile. I went through hell quite a few times, but hermitages are just the worst. Kitty, if it can make you feel better, Radhashama Sundar interjected. There ain't no real corpses. Krishna Kripa turned to his aunt. Trust me, I know dead bodies and I ain't seeing any. How do you know? He asked. No ghost. Radha shrugged. When a living entity dies before his appointed time, he hangs round his corpse until the thing decompose or get burnt. She walked away from that fake pile of dead fairies peppering the scorched ground. So obviously, burning them dead bodies is way better than burial. Krishna Kripa let out a breath, and the news made him feel marginally better, but Krishna was there, wasn't he? Mukara stated as he gently rubbed her son's painful shoulder, to which Kripa could only nod. A moment of silence fell on the tree servant of Bhagawan, a moment in which they were all one in thoughts and feelings. Mom, why me? Krishna Kripa asked, his throat and eyes burning due to the acrid smoke. Why you? Why do you suffer so much? Mukara asked. No! Why? Why did Krishna choose me? Kripa closed his eyes. You gave your life for a devotee. This impressed Krishna so much, he shared a pastime with you, Mukara explained. So, how long did it last? Too short. Wait a freaking minute! Did I just hear right? Radha's eyes bloomed wider. Kripa, you met Krishna? Krishna Kripa narrowed his eyes. You didn't. Radha shook her head. No, we don't. Those who meet Krishna personally while still embodied, I could count them on my fingers. Kripa sighed as he held his heart. Kripa, you have received an unprecedented amount of causeless mercy. The son of Mukara hunched over. No. Okay, sorry about that. His heart burning hotter than the forest. Wow, that's... Muki, your son's worship... Shh! Mukara hissed, but Krishna Kripa didn't care or hear anything. He had just heard the sound of Krishna's flute. Yeah, okay, basically, that's a bit of the most esoteric part of our practice. So, what Krishna Kripa has been going through is called Vipralambhabhav, or separation. So, it's the most intense form of meditation you can have. And it's not something so hard to understand. When you love someone and that person leave for any reason, like let's just say you have a grandmother, a grandfather, a best friend, a brother, a mother, a cat, a dog, anything that you love with all your heart, and that person die. That feeling that you will never see it again, that pain, that's love. And when you feel that pain for God, it puts you into such a meditation. There's not a moment you can live without thinking about Krishna, without pinning about him, without remembering him. And that is true meditation. Not just thinking about nothing, that's called coma. Not just about focusing on your heartbeat, that's not even better. It's not just thinking about the light, that's impersonal. It's not about meditation is not about emptying your mind. It's about feeling it's about love. It's about feeling your heart with love. It's about crying for the beloved, for Krishna. But because we're thinking that we're this body and that we don't need God, okay, wait, I need to turn that off because Lishme Koi. Okay, that's a new one. So because we think we're the body and that we don't need God, we don't believe in him, we don't even know Krishna and we're better without him and we can have all we want in this material world, well, that's not really love. In the material world, yes, there can be some love between, between people or animal, but it's motivated. Actually, recently I was reading a commentary on the Ten Canto, the Ras Leela dance of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and in the Rasa Leela, the gopis asked Krishna three questions about what type of lovers he was. Well, this question was, what type of lover are you, Krishna? You've left us in the middle of the forest when you called us, and then you disappeared on us, and then you left your Radharani alone. What's wrong with you, man? So, what type of lover, you know, can you explain us the three types of lovers? And Krishna explained that the first type of lovers, the one who love because he wants them to have something in exchange. For example, you serve a person, you serve your boss because you want to have money. You serve your wife because you want her to cook you a nice meal and, being wifey with you. Or you serve your husband because you want to have children. You love because that's not really love. That's just an exchange of service. That's just merchant. You're just a merchant. There's not really any feeling. If the person doesn't give you what you want, you will just drop it. And this is the number one cause of divorce. Um, the second question, the second lover are those who loves, they love anyway. The best example we have are parents. We're talking good parents. We're talking the one who are willing to give everything to their children, and even that is getting more and more rare. Um, like, okay, best example is from Mahanidi Swami about how, yes, in India, mom and dad love their child so much. They will feed him, they will pamper him, they will give them everything because they're actually waiting for their son to get to university and to go out and, get lots of money in other places because then they get to have a very comfortable old age and, die with Pinda and everything. So when a child go and becomes a Hare Krishna, well, that love can stop. But I'm sure in society we can have signs of true love. Like this, this man. Or okay, I'm just trying to find in real day world society about the best examples of causeless love. I think the best example would be Radhanath Swami's mother. So Radhanath Swami is one of our spiritual master, and he's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And okay, I could tell you his story, but I won't make it justice. He has written he's the first one who wrote his autobiography as a gift to a dying man. His best friend, Bhakti Tirtha Swami. Yeah, we called him the Black Lotus. Very powerful preacher. The most selfless man I knew. He basically he pulled the Jesus on us and he took all of our sins. I'm not kidding you. And it resulted in him dying of very aggressive melanoma. I believe he left his body in 2005 or 2010. And There's the last, if you go on YouTube, just look at the last kirtan of Bhakti Tirtha Swami. You see the happiest dying man on the planet because he's not really dying, and he know he's not really dying. He has realized that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. I'm going back home, back to Godhead. And he sing the most ecstatic Jai Jai Radhe Jai Jai Shyam Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. But before that, he asked Radhanath Swami to write his story about how he joined the Hare Krishna movement. And Radhanath Swami said yes, expecting to be able to change, back to Tirtha Swami's decision, because when you're humble, you don't really want people to know about yourself because you'd feel like it's not really that amazing. And I don't want people to worship me for nothing. And back to Tirtha Swami told him, that's not your story, that's how Krishna brought you back to him. So the story, the autobiography of Radhanath Swami is called The Journey Home. Read it. Stop the video right now. If I've listened to this far. Stop this video. Go on Amazon, Kobo, Google Book, Google Book, ebook, whatever. Or your Hare Krishna temple, and go look for A Journey Home. So, Radhanath Swami, after his entire trip to India, his 6 month in India, when he came back and he told his parent he wanted to be a Hare Krishna, well, the first thing, when his mother learned that he was a vegetarian, the first thing she did is she went through all the book on vegetarian cuisine. When she learned that her son wanted to be a Hare Krishna, okay. When she learned that her son wanted to be renounced, great. She gave him her entire support until her dying breath. And that is causeless love. You love that person not because. You love that person despite everything. So, that's the second type of love. Of lover. It's you love despite. That was kind of a big one, but and the third type of lover is the one which is ungrateful. Either because, he's self-satisfied, or because he has everything he would ever want materially, or because he is hateful, or because he just doesn't care about you when you may love him, but it's basically someone who will abuse you. So those are the three types of lovers. And of the best, the gopis are the middle one. And Krishna, well, Krishna's not any one of them. Krishna's Krishna. Krishna has a way to love that we cannot explain it. Krishna's love is as inconceivable as him. And this type of love, that's the unlimited love Krishna has. He has for us. He loves us all. But how can we reach Krishna? Well, we have to cry for him. Crying for Krishna, that's basically what we're trying to do in the Hare Krishna movement. And it's the most blissful experience you'll have. So that's what Krishna Kripa's having. Okay. I kind of ran my mouth again, didn't I? So, in this state of separation, Krishna Kripa heard the sound of Krishna's flute. When you hear that sound, you drop everything. Like a moth seeing a light, Krishna Kripa ran after the divine sound, not waiting for his mother. He ran to the ashes, the smoldering corpses of trees and others who used to live there. He didn't feel the heat, nor did he feel his lungs burning. Krishna was there. His Krishna was back. Finally, Kripa found a meadow, this one filled with flowers, untouched by the blue blaze. There, standing under a banyan tree, bent in 3 places, a peacock feather adorning his opulent white turban, luscious black hair spilling from it in rivers of curls, a fragrant garland of forest flower resting on his necklace-laden chest, his flute to his cherry red lips, His dhoti was as resplendent as molten gold, and his golden eyes filled with love. It was Krishna, surrounded by his cows. Fresh tears filled Kripa's eyes as he ran toward his lord, his Krishna, and then he stopped. What should he do? What should he say? He had nothing to give him, and he didn't remember any prayers, and, and he could give himself, but Kripa knew it would not be enough, and he now knew. He knew he was not qualified for his embrace. He was not even qualified to know him, let alone meet Narada. What to say to have him? To have him as it was not the right time. He was not pure enough yet. He didn't. She didn't love him. She had nothing for him. Krishna noticed his servant, and a bright smile light his mind-stealing lips. "Oh, Kripa!" He stopped playing his bewailing song and ran to his frozen servant, engulfing him in his cooling embrace. For Krishna Kripa, it was as soothing as a cooling shower, and yet it was lighting a fire that he knew had no remedy. "I'm so bony. Krishna's body's so soft. Oh, Krishna, please don't hold me so tight. You're going to bruise yourself." He had already seen Krishna covered in scratches. He didn't want him pierced with his bones. Suddenly, a wave of pure bliss flooded him. Krishna had just kissed the top of his head. "Oh, hell no!" He pierced his lips. "When was the last time I washed my hair with soap? I'm sure there's still some hair dyes and it smells on it." Krishna Kripa thought as he tried to get out from Krishna's clutches, and then abruptly stopped. No, if I struggle, Krishna's so delicate, so fragile, he'll hurt himself. Krishna, please let me go." He sobbed as he meekly begged, his voice sweet, the babbled words sounding like the tinkling of bell. I... No, I've waited so long, my dearest friend." Then as she could feel Krishna's tear cascading over his back, "I'm never letting you go. I'm never leaving you." "You did," Kripa meekly replied, feeling some anger burning in his heart. Krishna had been gone for less than 12 hours, but for Kripa it felt like 12 millennium, more than that. "No, Kripa, my dearest, how could I leave one so dear and dedicated to me?" Krishna Okay, I have no idea. It's not explained. Krishna vowed as he kneeled in front of his servant, holding his delicate hands. "I have never left you. I've merely hid myself in your heart." Now, having the Lord in full view again, Kripa tried to remain angry, but how could he? Krishna's eyes were reddish with tears. His smile, oh, his glorious smile! How could he describe this smile? It was like a cloud pouring divine rain on scorched land. And yet Kripa knew it wouldn't last. Krishna would never remain with a demon, someone born of... Once again, Krishna Kripa was back in Sri Hari's embrace. "Oh, my dearest, you don't know that you are the soul, the person inside the body? You have no real connection to your mother, and definitely no connection to Utica. You are not a demon, nor are you a young man. You are mine. You have always been mine, and will forever be mine, just like I am yours." Suddenly, Kripa woke up in the fairy lake, literally in the lake. What the... How did I manage to get there? The last he remembered, he was in Krishna's embrace. "Krishna, I am yours. You are mine. Tat Tvam Asi. I'm his." He pressed his scarred hand over his heart. A warm feeling emanated from there. "I'm his eternally, and he's mine to serve forever." He took a deep breath. Then he realized he was underwater. "Ah, crap. At least the water's not freezing anymore. No guessing why. As he was about to get up, someone gave him a hand. It was a woman, hewn from flawless black marble, dressed in a shimmering dress of pink and gold, the gossamer-like fabric letting her beauty shine through. Her breasts were full, her waist thin and bearing threefold of skin above her deep navel. Her hips were broad, her thighs, nothing could be described them. Her feet were small, delicate, and reddish at the bottom. Her head and face was covered with a gauzy veil, and that hid her features. Only her lips formed a mysterious smile. That form of mysterious smile peeked from under the golden trim. Her beautiful arms were delicate and decorated with golden bangles, gem-studded bracelets, and many rings danced on the delicate flower-like hands, their palm reddish. She carried a golden pot, holding it playfully over her shoulder. Krishna Kripa stared. Never in his life had he seen such a beautiful woman. She was... No, she was a young woman. Well, guess who's straight today? But then, considering that she looked amazingly like Krishna... Krishna! Krishna Kripa averted his eyes from the heavenly beauty. No, he would not fall into this trap. The young servant of the Lord knew he would never be able to share this type of relationship with his master, but he had already given his heart to him. The divine beauty chuckled, her sweet voice resounding like silver bells. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm sorry, miss, but my heart was stolen by a great thief. And you let him take it, didn't you? She bent closer to him, her firm breast dancing in her dress. Do you know how much you will suffer? Kripa got up from the ground. I used to be underwater and now I'm on the ground. What's next? I'll be in Mikado? Well, at least he could now speak normally. Externally, he addressed the girl. If it makes him happy, then let me burn in hell. The mysterious mink's smile grew wider. Who the hell are you anyway? Krishna Kripa tried to catch a better glimpse of the Krishna-like woman, trying to ignore the way his heart fluttered as bliss slowly but surely began to affect him. No, that's not my Krishna. Krishna's not a woman, he chided himself. I am Mohini, and I am yours just as you are mine. She brought the golden pot in front of her. When desiring to chase Yamaraj away and recuperate those bodies too damaged for life, call me, pray to me, and I will return the righteous one. She gracefully gestured to the effulgent lotus hanging from Kripa's left ear, the one Krishna had given him. The son of Mukhara gently touched the divine lotus, the delicate flower still fresh and as fragrant as the first time Krishna hung it there. And then she was gone. Krishna? Krishna, why did you run away like that? Yeah, so Kripa's actual nickname, short name by his mother, well, that's Krishna. But obviously, because of the scenario of Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse, calling her son Krishna, that's the last thing Mukara wants to do. I mean, Mukara is Toyo Satomi no Miko. She goes around and she hears the desire of everyone. Basically, everybody wants to kill, quote-unquote, Krishna, meaning, for her, she doesn't want anybody to know that her son is named Krishna Kripa. His Krishna, why did you run away like that? His mother all but yelled, her eyes wide open, tears of anxiety streaming down her face. Sorry, Mom. I thought I heard something. Kripa averted his eyes. Not used to have a mother yet. Well, he used to have one, but Mukara was his real mother, and not just by blood. By that I mean that Mukara is basically teaching Krishna Kripa about, well, Krishna. And the real mother, she teaches her son about God, about eternal life. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's explained that one cannot be a master, a king, a guru, a mother, and a father, if he cannot save his dependent from death. And they mean it, for the entire life. And the only way to be saved from death is through Krishna consciousness. Because once you know about Krishna, once you serve Krishna with love, even if it's not really love, even the moment you start to serve Krishna, you're immortal. The moment you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you're immortal. Death cannot touch you. And okay, so there was this one man, and that's a real story, okay? Real, honest to God. I'm telling this in my room in front of, my wall of celebrity. And, okay, so this story really did happen. This is how one gentleman joined Krishna consciousness. So, I forgot where it was exactly. But there was Harinam Sankirtan, and this man would see the devotees and he would clap in Harinam. When they were chanting Hare Krishna, he would clap his hand. And then one day, I believe he had an accident, either a cardiovascular accident, but long story short, he was in the hospital on the operation table and he died. And the next thing he know, he's in front of Yamaraj. He met Yamaraj. Out of body experience. By this, I mean he went to Pluto. Yeah, Pluto's is where Yamaraj is right now. Well, right now, this is the planet of Yamaraj. This is where we all go to have our sins read. So Yamaraj looked at him and he started to read all the sin that person done. And that guy realized, yeah, I'm not going out of hell anytime soon. And then Yamaraj leaned over his desk, and this is what really happened. And he says, but you kept clapping in the Harinam. So get out of there. And next thing he wakes up in the operation room, and the doctor's like, okay, he's back. he joined the Hare Krishna movement after that. He became a Hare Krishna, and that's a true story. Actually, we also have another one. So this young man was staying at a hotel. He was a brahmachari. He was staying at a hotel in India. And in India, you can stay in a half-built apartment. Even if there's no railing, you will stay there. So he woke up, and for some reason he wanted to have some fresh air. So he walked out on the balcony, and because there's no light and no railing, he falls down on his head. So goes to the hospital, and there's like nothing going on in the brain. So they decided to keep him and see if he will improve. And then one day, they hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare from his room. And it's like, oh my god, he's awake. They come and check, and no, he's not awake. His brain is still flatlining. There's like no reaction, but he's still chanting the holy name. Why? Because we're not the brain. We are seated inside the heart. The soul is always conscious, which is why impersonal liberation, Buddhist liberation, is hell. Okay. So, yeah, when you're Hare Krishna, you don't die. We never die, and because of this realization, we attain eternal life of service to the Lord. We can seemingly change body, but we know we are eternal servant of the Lord, and this, my friend, is eternal life. We are immortal, you are immortal, and the moment we chant Hare Krishna, you're immortal. The moment you started listening to me talking on this not really podcast, but on this reading of my fan fiction, you've become immortal. Why? Because you're starting to realize that you're on the way. Okay. Krishna Kripa, don't you dare pull this, oh, there was a noise card on me. If I can't hear it, then it doesn't. Mukara stopped, and Krishna Kripa could see his mother's ear perked. We're talking, okay, Mukara's Toyosato Mimi no Miko. We're talking the hairstyle. I heard something. Her eyes opened wider. That's a survivor. And with those words, it was now Mukara's turn to run with very little context, and a very frustrated Radha followed suit. Internally, Kripa thanked his Krishna. he had no desire to tell anyone about what had happened. It was between him and his Krishna, and no one else. Eventually, they found Nozomi. The fairy queen looked confused, frazzled, frazzled, and scared. She held a gas mask to her face, and she had sustained some burns. "Oh, Nozomi! Nozomi!" Krishna Kripa called to the fairy queen. "You know her, Bita?" Mokara asked. "Yeah, she's the queen of the place. Helped her yesterday to deal with a prissy king Frost, the one I killed with the master spark." Kripa paused. This should have been a huge clue to his parentage. Nevertheless, he ran to the skimpy blonde, hoping she was not the only survivor. Oh, something seemed to click in Mokara's head, but before she could express it, "Who? Wait, Aegis! What the hell happened to your eyes?" Nozomi rapidly noticed the hunter's golden eyes. "Remove my contact. I'm not human." Kripa revealed with as much confidence as he could muster. "Nozomi, what the hell happened? Are you alright? Do you need any help?" Nozomi looked at Kripa, then at his mother and aunt. "Oh, that's my mom, Mukara, and my aunt, Radhashama Sundar. Oh, that's my mom, Mukara, and my aunt, Radhashama Sundar." He introduced them, realizing that Nozomi was most probably not aware of his ex-status as an orphan. "Azahi's under house arrest. Nothing bad, just Dad doesn't want her to get into trouble, especially with that sriracha noodle gobbling up people." Kripa scratched his ear. He was not used to talk to people. Azahi would usually deal with them. Mokara walked closer, a look of concern on her face. "Queen Nozomi, everything will be fine," she began, keeping her voice low. "As my son told you, my name is Mukara, and we're here to help you." Nozomi's eye turned her eyes toward the smaller woman. She let out a low chuckle, aiming her shotgun to Mukara's heart. Radha moved in front of her best friend, and Krishna Kripa aimed his shovel at Nozomi's head, praying to Krishna that the fairy queen would come to her senses. Mukara, with her right doll hand, moved the dead stick away from her most vital organ, showing no aggression toward the grieving queen. "Miss Nozomi, I know what you're going through." "Course you would. You're with the Polytheistic Alliance." "No, I'm with Prabhupada and his society. The polytheist I like to use this name because it's so ironic. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is... Okay, we are monotheistic. We just know that Krishna has plenty of overpowered servants called the demigods. So we may seem to worship a few, but no. Our main worship is Krishna and his devotees. The Polytheist Alliance is a fraud. Mokara answered shortly. "I know my Lord and Master Krishna. I know how he looked like. This youth that you call Krishna clearly isn't him." "All right, prove it then," Nozomi challenged. "Nozomi," Krishna Kripa intervened, "the real Krishna is the personality of Godhead. Do you really think he would need to gather souls to make a new universe? So, how does real Krishna really makes universe?" "Well, Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan really doesn't have much to do, but he knows that there are some souls who want to exist to continue their karmic duty. So he has his brother make an expansion, who makes an expansion, who makes an expansion. And in one of those expansion, Karanodakashayi Vishnu is laying down in the causal ocean. The causal ocean is an ocean of cause, and it is part of the material reality. So I'm not well versed in which Vishnu does what, but I know that this Vishnu is laying down on this ocean and is looking at Durga, the material nature, and with his glance, impregnate her with all of us. Yeah, You know, they say that we may joke about how the hand of God is everywhere, or about immaculate conception. But yeah, he just looked at Durga, and next thing that happened, Durga's pregnant. He didn't even touch her. And from within Durga, the Lord enter with the soul. Well, another expansion of God, another part of God. Like it's another Vishnu that enters into the same material world. And then in this space, um, he goes into another ocean, and in this ocean, um, no, wait, okay, yes, I'm confused myself. If you want to have a better idea about how it happened, I would refer you to the Chaitanya Charitamrita if you don't have time to read it yourself, or if you cannot find it, you can find its narration on YouTube. You can also find the application called My BVL, Bhaktivedanta Library, and on there you have all of our holy scriptures um, spoken by I forgot his name, but they are spoken and you can listen to it. Those are very nice. And if you're more into, well, the first one who read everything, all the books of Srila Prabhupada, his name is Amala Bhakta Swami. And Amala Bhakta Swami, he has read all the book. He has read out loud the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Bhagavad Gita, the Chaitanya Bhagavat, the Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. He even translated and wrote the life of Tulasi Devi. It is a wonderful book, a wonderful narration. Now, if you read that far, do yourself a favor, close the stuff I'm reading. Okay? The stuff I read, it's not that great. And I'm sure if you read that far, you've noticed. And by the way, thank you for reading that long. Well, for listening for that long. And go on the top, on your YouTube, like there in your search engine, and type Amala Bhakta Swami. And I don't have any internet connection right now, obviously. And you press enter and just listen to him. He's amazing. I like to listen to him most of the morning. Okay, so basically, there's a part of a part of a part of Krishna who lays in the notion of cause, and he's sleeping. And then at every time he breathes, he makes universe. So the universe are born from the pores of his body. So just imagine, when you put like a dry sponge in the water and you squeeze. Well, that's how all the universe happened, and we call that the Big Bang. Yeah, then he enters all those individual universe, and then he fills half the universe with his own bodily sweat. Yeah, all the water in the universe is God's sweat. So he fills half the universe with sweat, half with air, and then laying there on the bed of Anantashesh, he gives birth. This is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Okay, so there's Karanadokashai Vishnu, which is the first Vishnu in the material world who look at Durga to impregnate her with all the souls. And then there's Karano. No, that's is it? Okay, there's Kshirodakashai Vishnu and Garbhodakashai Vishnu. So Kshirodakashai Vishnu is he's actually in the world right now. He's living on the pole star, which is called Svetadweep because it's surrounded by milk. He lives by the bank of the Milk Ocean. Okay, so now the second one is Garbhodakashai Vishnu, and Garbhodakashai Vishnu from his navel gave birth. There's a navel that grows from his navel, and he gave birth to Brahma. And then Brahma after passing a few years of austerities because, he wakes up in nothing, literally. The only thing that exists is God, the lotus, and him. There's literally nothing in the universe. It's just the primordial soup. There's nothing else. And Brahma's just a newborn. He looks around like, where am I? What am I supposed to do there? And after that, after meditating, meeting the Lord gives him the instruction and the blueprints for literally everything, starting from darkness to the atom to us, and the animals and the planet and air and movement and concept. So Brahma gave birth after that to everything. He's a secondary architect. And after that, um, from the sons of Brahma comes civilization. So no, Darwin's wrong. And it's not that if you do a certain thing, you will, there will be an evolution. You may gain some skills, but evolution, why has evolution stopped right now? Especially with the animals. And yet, we keep fighting new species. Yes, species disappear, but new species appears also. So, why? Well, because there's no such thing as, maybe on this planet we cannot see black rhinos anymore. But in another part of the universe, black rhinos, because Earth is not just this part where we are right now. It is the universe we're in right now. There's so much we cannot see. I mean, our eyes, there's some animals who see better than us. There are animals who hear better than us, who taste more than us, who feel more than us. So, what do we know about the universe? Through our two little holes in the brain that can only see the visible, a very short, a minuscule amount of colors. We can only see 7 colors and gradation, but there's more to it. So maybe here, there's no more black rhinos and there's no more dodos. But on another island, on Bhumandal, yes, dodos are still here, black rhinos are still here, and maybe one day, oh, hey, there's another black rhino. We must have missed him. So no. Also, we're not flat earthers, but we're not round earthers. We are both earthers. Earth is round. The earth is a globe, but the earth is also flat. How do you like them apples? Okay. So yeah, that was about how God make universe. He sleeps. He breathes. That's how God made universe. He doesn't need souls. He's the source of all soul. The soul, there's no beginning and no end. The soul is part of God, and God's unlimited. He'll never run out. We're unlimited. So, when God want to make a universe, he breathes. Just like that. Boom, a universe. No, not just a universe. A limited universe, just by breathing, just by sleeping. Now, what do you do when you sleep? He pointedly asked, so yeah, do you think you need to gather soul to make new universe? He pointedly asked. Beside, if this was the real Krishna, they wouldn't be called polytheistic, since his presence would make everything moot to point. Actually, it's an oxymoron to have Krishna in a polytheistic alliance. Because Krishna's the supreme, Krishna's God. Jehovah's not God, Krishna is. And also, even if you were to take the entire, Shin Megami Tensei game, then, yes, it's still Krishna. Why? Well, because Krishna wanted to get rid of a demon that tried to make him, that took the name personality of Godhead a bit too literal, but because he didn't really want to fight, he induced the main character to work for him. So, no, Krishna didn't lose. Krishna didn't lose at all, because by his mere presence, He has liberated everyone. By his name, everybody was freed. And I think that the Flynn in the end game, that's not Flynn, that's Krishna. Because what you didn't see is that the moment Krishna was out of the camera, he woke Flynn up from his sleep, and Flynn really is Kalki, not the Kalki avatar, mind you, but his cowherd boyfriend named Kalki. Oh yeah, all cowherd boyfriend. Krishna has cowherd boyfriend. No, not that type of boyfriend. They are friends who are boys. So he lifted the veil of illusion on Kalki's soul, his divine consciousness. And then Kalki realized, that's my best friend Krishna. I haven't seen him for so long. So of course after that, he's out of this universe and into the spiritual world. But because it has to keep going, then Krishna takes the place of Flynn. So when you fought Vishnu, which is actually a very good design for another form of Sri Nrsimhadev. By the way, if you Google Bing or Yahoo Nrsimhadev, Maya for Nrsimhadev, you will see a black and gold Nrsimhadev who's, sharp tick, check, nails, check, black, check, gold, check. That's basically how, that's basically the Lord wearing the colors of the other Vishnu form, but better. So when he was split in two, well, the Krishna that was quote unquote killed, that was a fake. Oh no, Krishna was the first one to use the Pokemon move substitute. Yeah, oh yeah, he did that. He did that alright. In Srimad Bhagavatam 12th Canto, how Krishna left the planet. So when he split in two, Krishna, quote unquote, killed the fake one who did this whole spiel and it looked creepy, and then, he played he's a dramatic actor. Krishna's the best of actor. And after that, Krishna acted exactly like Flynn, and Krishna can do that. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, or in the Krishna book, there's a pasam called Brahma Vimohan Leela, or the Leela of playing with Brahma's mind, of fooling Brahma. So basically Brahma, because he thought, Krishna is just a young man, he's just a young boy, very talkative, and, I don't get why all the demigods are so amazed by him. I mean, it's not like he was our boss. And ironically, Brahma knew Krishna was coming on earth. Brahma knew Krishna, but for a moment he completely forgot about that fact. And so Brahma, to prove the world that Krishna is not all that great, decided to kidnap all of Krishna's cows and all of Krishna's cowherd boys. All of Krishna's friends when they were having a picnic on the bank of the Yamuna. So when Krishna come back from looking for the cows and see that his friends are gone, what does he do? Well, because he doesn't want the mothers to be sad, and because he doesn't want Brahma to learn a lesson, he expended himself in the billions of cowherd boy, and there are 9,000 cows. No, wait, 9 trillion cows. Yeah, Krishna took the form of the calf and the form of the boys. And then he played their role perfectly for a whole year. The way they would walk, the way they would act, the way they would speak, the way they would look. Krishna did it perfectly. So 1 year later, or just a moment for Brahma turned back from the cave where he had put all the boys in, and then he saw that, oh, wait a minute, the boys are still there playing with Krishna, but they're still in the cave sleeping, but they're still with Krishna. What is going on here? Then he realized, then he comes down on his Vahan, on his swan, and he saw that, yeah, those are all the cowherd boys. And then Krishna decided to pull out the pro move. The pro gamer move. Krishna remains the same small 5-year-old cowherd boy. And all the cows, all of his forms as calf and as cowherd boy take the form of Vishnu. And then after that, he's not done yet. Krishna's not done yet. After that, millions of other Brahma, millions of other Shiva, Indra, Ganesh, all the host of demigods and great sages come and bows at his feet simultaneously, causing such a great din by the sound of their helmet hitting the floor. And then, he realized that then Krishna showed for that he's the universe, that he's in him, that he's God. And then Brahma, faint, he closed his eyes because even as a supermost conditioned living entity, that's too much. And that's when he realized, oh no, I tried to go against my boss. Anyway, don't take it from me. Just listen to it from Amalabhakta, from Srila Prabhupada. There's so many great devotees who can tell this story better than me. Okay, so that was another big pause. Sorry about that. Oh wait, you mean God's not Jehovah? The real supreme personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna. He's eternally 16, not 18. He's delightfully plump, not like the other guy. Kripa closed his eyes. Yuki, at a glance, had looked relatively healthy, but after a longer look at the memory of how he used to look at his healthiest, no, Yuki was not okay. And the whole event was very awkward. Queen Nozomi, I think we need to talk in a more private setting. If you don't mind, my family would love to offer your assistance our assistance for you in this hour of need. Mokara smoothly sighed, saving her son from further embarrassment from social interaction. Nozomi looked at the trio, and Krishna Kripa hoped that she would not pick up her gun again. He didn't want to be a real orphan this time. Nozomi looked at the group and sighed. Damn it. Damn if I do. Damn if I don't. She murmured. All right, I don't know if following you's the right choice, but I don't have that much option at the moment. It's all right. Much has happened during the last 24 hours for the both of us. Mokara spoke gently. You have two choices. Either we take the break now and I tell you everything that is needed to know, or we hunt down the demon that scorched your kingdom and we talk later. What will be your choice, O glorious fairy queen? Nozomi looked at Mukara, Radha Shamasundar, and finally at Krishna Kripa. So, what do you say, Aegis? Is your mom cool or... Nozomi, I trust her with my life, Krishna Kripa stated. While his previous memories were blurry, he knew Mukara. He knew she was trustworthy, same as Radha. Why would he die for her otherwise? Nozomi looked at the teen servant of the Lord and sighed as he removed the safety. Let's get this piece of pig shit out first. Queen's duty and all that. Mokara smirked. Then, O Queen, let this Prince of Japan and her son assist you. She bowed low. Krishna Kripa paused and turned to his mother and took a good hard look at her. Now that he was really looking at her, Kripa realized that she sort of looked like a boy. Not by much, but... Oh, Krishna, don't tell me. And for a moment, Kripa could hear the sweet, nectar-filled, stifled laughter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Author's note. At first, Nanashi's parentage was just a couple of run-of-the-mill humans, and then the whole thing turned into a crossover. Into a Toho Project Shin Megami Tensei Vaishnafied crossover. So sorry. Not sorry. Have a good day. So yeah, a bit about the beta. If you read that hard, please relish a bit of a, behind-the-scenes secret. So at the beginning, at the conceptual stage, Krishna would not have been revealed to be God. It would have been like this big reveal, this big, oh my God, Krishna, you're God? Yes, I don't care. But no, instead it turned into this thing. So, um, Krishna Kripa was just a human. He had no powers, no nothing. And then eventually I realized that, hey, wait a minute, he's looking kind of girly and he has like this little horn thing. What if the horn thing was genetical? And then I'm like, he looked like he would be the perfect son of Mukara. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, but I don't feel comfortable to having Mukara, having a son the usual way because technically he's still a man. I mean, I'm not going to the whole, well, apparently his story was wrong and Prince Toyotomi no Miko was a man from the beginning, actually a woman. No, 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 no. For me, Miko was a man, and then he saw his wife's having this beautiful relationship with their children. He's like, oh man, I'm missing out. So when he got a chance to become a hermit and learn that, oh, you can change your appearance, like, can I become a complete woman? Like, Kakusega's like, hey, yeah, of course. And so she did. But it failed. She could not bear any children. And no, she didn't need to have any try. She just went to Aiden and have things checked out. Because, hey, she's a moon doctor. She should know a few things how to make a man pregnant. No. No, because, well, um, that would be insulting to other women. It would be offensive. It's not that it doesn't happen. It's just how Aiden feels about the whole thing. And, well, it did work out in the end. So, yeah. And also to having, Yuka, Akanzami Yuka as Krishna's other mom. Well, I was reading the article about Nanashi and I read that he had greenish hair, which no, he does. Well, basically, um, where would he find green dye in post-apocalyptic Tokyo? I mean, to make black dye, that's easy. You just take ink. But an ink, I mean, with so many demons around, you can't get ink from them. But to make hair dye, the amount of um chemicals inside is, they have better things to do than to make hair dyes. So, yeah, if a character in Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse has a hair of a different color, that's genetic. Meaning Kripa needed to have green hair, and before I had a chapter written about how, you know, the beta chapter about the Mukara and Radhashama Sundar driving the van, there was actually more Toho Project girls inside. We're talking Alice, Yuka, and Shikeiki Yamazanadu. No, I did not choose who was going to be there. I just asked Krishna and say with my playlist, say, okay, Krishna, who do you want me to write about? And Krishna, I put my playlist. My playlist on YouTube is always on shuffle, and so I shuffle my playlist, and then that's the person I had. So there was also Radha Sundar or Orin Kainbo, and I just kept Orin Kainbo because I don't really know how to write a good Alice. And I mean, come on. We have enough of two Toho Project overpowered girls. We don't need to have it would have made things too easy basically. And because of Yuka was there, well, we got Yuka as a mom, basically. And apparently she died because that happened, which is a big missed opportunity because I would have loved to have her meet her son. Oh well, I can always do a rewrite. Alright, now for those who managed to reach this far, all together now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and may we meet again later.